Hello everyone and welcome to Bio for Basics. Today we are going over the background of one of the most influential evolutionists in science history, Charles Darwin. Some regard him as the father of evolution, and that is only an understatement as his contributions go well beyond his title. Now, without further ado, let us delve into the impacts of Darwin and how he changed the entire Earth's perspective on life. Born in the 19th century, Darwin was born into a wealthy family with a happy childhood. Unlike many others at this time, he had always had a fascination for nature. As he grew older, though, his father's wishes for Darwin to study other fields were quite persistent, but Darwin decided to still pursue his passion for nature instead. This eventually led to him going aboard the HMS Beagle, where he would voyage the entire globe for 5 years as he collected and gathered specimens that would later shape his findings. One of the most famous stops of this voyage was at the Galapagos Islands, where Darwin would begin his revolutionizing research. From his 5-week stay, Darwin was able to note that each island's species differed, particularly the finches, where their beak sizes would vary from island to island, and proposed that this was due to all their different diets from different environments. This information would lay the foundation of his theory of evolution that we will discuss later. Upon his findings, Darwin proposed the idea that the finches went through natural selection. This is Darwin's idea that every single species is always in a struggle to compete against other species, as the resources such as food, water, and space around them are limited. They cope with these limitations through adaptation of the environment. Adaptation refers to any physical or behavioral feature that the species has developed to aid in their survival. For example, going back to the island of finches, some finches have adapted to bigger beak sizes. A reason for this may be that the food resource, in this case seeds, on the island are bigger and harder to break. Thus, those finches on the island with harder seeds may develop bigger beaks over time to have an easier time cracking open the seed, while those with smaller beaks are unable to do so. As a result, bigger beaked finches reproduce and pass on their traits to their offsprings at a much faster pace than those with smaller beaks. This is how natural selection occurs. To better understand natural selection, we can break it down into 3 main types. These types include disruptive, stabilizing, and directional selection. Disruptive selection is the type of selection that favors selection of extreme traits over the intermediate ones. This means that the species with the most or least degree of some trait is selected over a species with something in between. For example, in a population of birds, both large and small beaks might be beneficial, but medium-sized beaks aren't. Over time, this can lead to the population splitting into 2 different groups of birds, with each group of bird having their own food source. The next type of selection is stabilizing selection, which is essentially the opposite of disruptive selection, where the intermediate trait is favored over the extremes and usually results in the balance of the species in its environment. In this case, birds with medium-sized beaks are beneficial. The final type of selection is directional selection, where only one of the extremes is favored, causing the population to slowly shift towards a singular direction of phenotype. Hence the name directional selection. Here, either the large-sized beaks or small-sized beaks can be beneficial, but not. Now that we have gone over natural selection, a driving force of evolution, let's look into the types of evolution. 2 important patterns of evolution are convergent and divergent evolution. The first being convergent evolution occurs when 2 completely different species evolve to have the same traits or characteristics over time due to similarity in environment or challenges. Take a dolphin and a shark, for example, where a shark is a fish but a dolphin is a mammal, and notice how they both have fins for swimming, sleek bodies, and similar hunting techniques. These resemblances are not due to common ancestry, but rather because they live in marine ecosystems. On the other hand, divergent boundaries are where species with common ancestors evolve to have different traits or characteristics over time. An excellent example that we have gone over already are Darwin's finches. All of them have a common ancestor, but each have different characteristics due to their difference in environments and challenges. The unique thing about divergent boundaries is that it usually leads to formation of new species and is the cause for most of Earth's diversity. And that's all for Darwin's history and contributions. If you found our video to be helpful, please like our video and subscribe for future biology videos like these. Thank you for watching. Until next time.